How was your week off, Ari?
It's a great weekend. Killed it.
Bill?
That was fantastic.
And now back for football. Ohio State hosting Cincinnati at 6 o'clock in Ohio Stadium on Saturday. Doug Maurice along with Bill Landis and Ari Wasserman. Lots of news with Urban Meyer and the players we talked to on Monday. One of the things still unsettled on the offensive line. Is that an issue at this point, Bill, or not a big deal if they're still talking about moving guys in and out?
I think it's a bit of an issue if you're talking about you've played 3 games plus a bye week and you're still not 100% certain who your starting offensive line is. I don't think it's a matter of we have 5 guys that we need to replace. I think it's a matter of there's one spot in particular. I think it's the right guard spot that they're not quite sure of at this point. And Urban Meyer mentioned Chase Farris as a guy who's pushing for some playing time there. I think it's good to have battles and guys pushing for different spots throughout the season, but I'm not so sure it's a good thing to be uncertain about a starting position when you're 3 games in and 4 weeks into the season.
They played 4 centers at different times against Kent State, with Jacoby Bourne, Pat Elflein, Billy Price, and Antonio Underwood all getting time there. Obviously, they're just getting guys experience. I'm curious to see if that position could potentially move around a little bit, too. I think you could end up with one of the guards at center and maybe Ferris working in. What do you think, Ari? Is this still an issue or not that big a deal?
Well, I mean, I think the way you look at it is how have they performed. And, things were obviously good against Kent State because Kent State doesn't have the athletes to compete. But, the only sample size that we really have is that Ohio State had the ball 3 times late in the fourth quarter to tie the Virginia Tech game, and he got sacked like 6 times in the final quarter. So it's not that they haven't performed yet, so it's not okay in my opinion.
Urban Meyer asked about Noah Spence this week. Noah Spence, not with the team, is no longer practicing with them. We know he is having issues, has failed a second drug test. What do you think of the way Urban Meyer is handling this so far, Ari? Noah Spence is still around. He's not practicing, but he's not dismissed from the team at this point. How is Urban Meyer dealing with this?
I think Urban Meyer he gets a lot of criticism for not, just being more cut and dry with some of this stuff and just dismissing players. But I can understand that, there's a difference between being malicious and having an actual issue. And if the program has determined that Noah Spence actually has a drug problem, they're treating it as a health issue. And I'm okay with the way that they're handling it. Right now he's suspended indefinitely. He's not practicing with the team, but they're still there to help him. So they're not really getting any of the benefits of having that all Big Ten defensive player on the team, but they're still there to try to help him through this tough time.
I think it is a very different issue if the guy is not on the field playing in games. It's hard to sort of say that they're keeping him around for reasons to just help the team. This is always a difficult thing for coaches. I seem to get, I think, where Urban Meyer's coming from so far on this.
Yeah, I agree. I think first and foremost, and they've talked about it, the most important thing is to get Noah Spence healthy and help him through this problem. But what's also important, I think, and I don't consider myself an expert on this by any means, but I think it's important to have a sense of normalcy, and what's normal for Noah Spence is to be part of the Ohio State football team. So having him around in whatever capacity it is, I think is important to help Noah along when he's going through this process.
Now, to be clear, Noah Spence did violate some core issues here at Ohio State. I mean, he did some things wrong here, but he is also suffering some consequences. He's not playing football right now. They're going to throw the ball. We know Cincinnati is going to throw the ball. I think Ohio State's going to try to throw the ball a little bit too against Cincinnati. Cincinnati hasn't really stopped anybody this year either in its 2 games. When these teams go to throw the ball, who's going to throw it better on Saturday, and who has the guys better equipped to catch it? Are the Cincinnati receivers better, or are the Ohio State receivers better?
I think at this point, when you look at what each team has done, I think you have to say that Cincinnati probably has the better receivers. I'm not so sure if that's the best way to put it, or if the better way to put it is Cincinnati does what it does better right now than Ohio State is doing what it's supposed to do. So when you look at what each team likes to do, obviously Cincinnati likes to air it out, and they've done that well the first 2 games. I think Ohio State is still trying to figure out what it likes to do, and it's going to be a process until they kind of perfect that.
Michael Thomas seems like the biggest playmaker at receiver so far, but the plays he's made are basically make a catch, break 1 tackle, and go. I think there's a lot of guys we still need to see more from consistently. Devin Smith has caught some deep balls. I still don't know who's making the big 3rd down catch for Ohio State. And I don't know a lot about Cincinnati yet, but it sure seems like they have multiple guys. I think Cincinnati probably has a better receiver so far.
I mean, let me ask you, who's Ohio State's best receiver? I mean, they use the word playmaker a lot, which is oftentimes, in my opinion, to excuse the fact they don't have a pure receiver on the field. So I think there's a difference between who's more talented and who's more experienced. I think Cincinnati recruited players to their system, and they've got a quarterback that is certainly a better passer than Ohio State's quarterback in Gunnar Kiel. And when you have guys on the same page who've been working together for years and do the things that they do well, that, like Bill said, is going to compute into a better efficiency for that.
I think it has a chance to be high scoring Saturday, maybe high scoring. 6 p.m. kickoff, Cincinnati at Ohio State on Saturday evening. We, of course, will have coverage all week building up to that. For Ari Wasserman and Bill Landis, I'm Doug Lesmerises here outside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. Thank you for watching on cleveland.com.